Lead like a general, exploring the command structure of an army general to build and lead a successful organization. Written and published by the Zillionpro. Introduction. From desert sands to corporate boardrooms, the general who conquered business. Imagine Lieutenant General Ramirez, a decorated veteran, staring down a seemingly insurmountable challenge. Not on a foreign battlefield, but in the sterile confines of a corporate boardroom. Aquitaine Incorporated, a once pioneering tech company, was on the brink of collapse. Morale was at rock bottom, the competition was circling like a pack of hungry wolves, and the board was ready to throw in the towel. Ramirez, recently recruited for his strategic brilliance and unwavering leadership, surveyed the room. The faces staring back were etched with worry, a stark contrast to the steely determination he was used to commanding in his soldiers. But Ramirez saw the same fire in their eyes, the flicker of a fighting spirit yearning for direction. He wasn't a businessman by trade, but Ramirez knew leadership. He knew the importance of clear objectives, of building a unified team, and of adapting to the ever-shifting tides of battle. What he saw before him wasn't a failing company, but a disorganized army. Aquitaine Incorporated needed a general. This audiobook is the story of that transformation. It's the story of how Ramirez, drawing upon the battle-tested principles honed on the battlefield, rallied a team, outmaneuvered the competition, and led Aquitaine Incorporated back to victory. But Ramirez's story is more than just a thrilling comeback narrative. It's a blueprint for anyone who aspires to lead a successful organization. Within these pages, we'll dissect the core principles of military command and translate them into actionable strategies for the corporate world. We'll learn how to craft a winning vision just like a general needs a clear objective. You'll discover how to define success for your organization, build a formidable team. We'll explore recruitment strategies and leadership techniques to forge a team that functions with unwavering trust and collaboration. Develop a winning strategy, learn how to conduct market research, develop actionable plans, and adapt to unforeseen challenges. Lead with unwavering resolve. Discover how to motivate your team during difficult times, make decisive choices, and learn from setbacks. Whether you're a seasoned CEO or an aspiring entrepreneur, Lead Like a General will equip you with the tools and strategies to navigate the ever-changing business landscape and emerge victorious. So, put on your metaphorical combat boots, grab your metaphorical weapon of choice, a killer business plan, perhaps, and prepare to conquer the corporate battlefield. Chapter 1, The Battlefield of Business. Lieutenant General Ramirez adjusted his tie. The unfamiliar fabric a stark contrast to his usual starched fatigues. The polished mahogany table in the sterile boardroom gleamed under the harsh fluorescent lights, a far cry from the flickering lanterns of a desert command post. Yet, the tension in the room was as palpable as the gunpowder smoke that once clung to his clothes. This, Ramirez realized, was a different kind of battlefield, one fought not with bullets and bombs, but with market share and strategy. Aquitaine Incorporated, the once pioneering tech company Ramirez had been brought in to save, resembled a defeated army in retreat. Morale was at rock bottom. Employees shuffled through the sterile hallways, their eyes downcast, a stark contrast to the vibrant energy that had once pulsed through the company. The competition, like circling vultures, sensed weakness and were poised to pick at the carcass of Aquitaine's once dominant market share. Ramirez, a man who thrived on the chaos of battle, found himself strangely calm. Years spent leading troops through treacherous landscapes and complex maneuvers had honed his leadership skills to a razor's edge. He knew the importance of a clear objective, of building a unified team, and of adapting to the ever-shifting tides of war. The battlefield may have changed, but the core principles of leadership remained constant. The enemy at the gates, understanding the business landscape. Ramirez wasn't naive. He knew transitioning from the battlefield to the boardroom wouldn't be easy. Military strategy translated well to business, but the specific tactics would differ. The enemy here wasn't a foreign power with identifiable troop movements. It was a complex web of competitors, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. His first order of business was reconnaissance. He devoured market research reports, competitor analyses, and financial statements. He spoke with industry experts, sales representatives on the front lines, and even disgruntled customers. He needed a complete picture of the battlefield, the strengths and weaknesses of Aquitaine, the capabilities of its competitors, and the ever-evolving landscape of the tech industry, the fog of war, identifying your objective. Just as a general wouldn't lead his troops into battle without a clear objective, Ramirez wouldn't lead Aquitaine Incorporated on a path to nowhere. He needed to define success, a specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, smart, goal for the company. Was it regaining market share? Launching a revolutionary new product? Or perhaps achieving profitability within a set time frame? These were all possibilities, but Ramirez wouldn't settle for generalities. He needed a rallying cry, a North Star that would guide every decision and motivate every employee. Know your terrain, understanding your strengths and weaknesses. No general goes into battle without a thorough understanding of his own army. Ramirez spent time with Aquitaine's various departments: engineering, marketing, sales, customer service. He identified pockets of excellence, talented engineers with innovative ideas, a dedicated customer service team with a deep understanding of client needs. But he also unearthed weaknesses, a siloed approach between departments, a lack of clear communication, and a culture of fear that stifled creativity. This internal reconnaissance was crucial. Ramirez needed to leverage Aquitaine's strengths and address its weaknesses to forge a company capable of not just surviving, but thriving in the competitive business landscape. The call to arms, setting the stage for transformation. With a clearer picture of the battlefield, Ramirez gathered his troops, the employees of Aquitaine Incorporated. He didn't sugarcoat the situation. He spoke of the challenges they faced, the fierce competition, and the need for a complete turnaround. But he also instilled a sense of hope. He spoke of the company's potential, the talent within its ranks, and the opportunity to rewrite their narrative. This wasn't just a pep talk, it was a call to arms. Ramirez needed to build a sense of purpose, a shared vision that would unite the company and propel them forward. He needed to transform Aquitaine Incorporated from a demoralized army into a focused, motivated fighting force ready to take back its rightful place in the tech industry. The road to victory wouldn't be easy. There would be setbacks, strategic shifts, and moments of doubt. But with the right leadership, a clear vision, and a unified team, Ramirez believed Aquitaine Incorporated could not only survive, but conquer the corporate battlefield. This was just the beginning. Chapter 2, Building Your Army, Recruiting and Developing Your Team. Lieutenant General Ramirez surveyed the faces before him, a motley crew of engineers, marketers, and salespeople, each with their own strengths, weaknesses, and anxieties. They were far from the disciplined soldiers he was accustomed to commanding, but they were the foundation of Aquitaine Incorporated's success. Just as a strong army relies on a well-trained and motivated force, Ramirez knew Aquitaine needed a formidable team to achieve its goals. Enlist the best. Hiring strategies for talent acquisition. The battlefield of business is no place for amateurs. Ramirez needed to find the best talent available, individuals who possess the skills, experience, and drive to propel Aquitaine Incorporated forward. He revamped the company's recruitment strategy, focusing on attracting high-performing individuals who aligned with the company's newly defined vision. Gone were the days of generic job postings and cookie-cutter interviews. Ramirez implemented skills-based assessments to identify qualified candidates. He instituted behavioral interviewing techniques to delve deeper into a candidate's problem-solving abilities, teamwork ethic, and cultural fit. He even explored innovative strategies like hackathons and project-based challenges to assess a candidate's ability to perform under pressure and collaborate with others. But recruitment wasn't just about finding the best, it was about attracting them. Ramirez revamped Aquitaine's employer branding, emphasizing the company's renewed focus on innovation, collaboration, and employee well-being. He leveraged social media platforms to showcase Aquitaine's exciting projects and company culture. He turned current employees into brand ambassadors, encouraging them to share their positive experiences on professional networking sites. Shaping your troops, training and development programs. Finding the right talent was just the first step. Ramirez understood that even the most skilled individuals needed ongoing training and development to stay competitive. He implemented a comprehensive training program tailored to address the specific needs of each department. Engineers received advanced training on new technologies, while marketing teams honed their digital marketing skills. Sales representatives participated in workshops focused on building relationships and closing deals. But Ramirez also recognized the importance of soft skills development. He introduced communication workshops to foster clear and concise communication across departments. He implemented leadership training programs to empower employees to take ownership of their roles and contribute to strategic decision-making. He even incorporated team-building exercises to break down silos and encourage collaboration, fostering camaraderie, building trust and collaboration. A strong army doesn't just consist of skilled individuals, it's a cohesive unit where trust and camaraderie run deep. Ramirez understood that fostering a positive and collaborative work environment was essential for Aquitaine's success. He implemented open-door policies, encouraging employees to communicate concerns and ideas freely. He held regular town hall meetings to keep everyone informed about the company's progress and direction. He instituted a system of peer recognition, allowing employees to acknowledge and celebrate each other's achievements. He even encouraged cross-departmental collaboration on projects, fostering a sense of shared purpose and teamwork. Ramirez knew that building trust took time and effort. He actively listened to employee concerns, addressed issues promptly, and demonstrated a commitment to transparency. He celebrated successes, big and small, recognizing the contributions of every team member. Slowly but surely, a sense of camaraderie began to develop, replacing the previous atmosphere of fear and isolation. By focusing on recruitment, training, and team building, Ramirez wasn't just building a team, he was forging an army, a united force of talented individuals who were not only skilled but also motivated to fight for Aquitaine Incorporated's success. With a strong foundation in place, Ramirez could now turn his attention to the strategic planning that would guide them to victory. Chapter 3, The Chain of Command, Delegation and Empowerment. Lieutenant General Ramirez stood before his battalion commanders, a diverse group of department heads brought together from across Aquitaine Incorporated. They were no longer the scattered individuals he'd first encountered, but a team, forged through training and shared purpose. Yet, a crucial piece of the puzzle remained: creating a clear chain of command and empowering his lieutenants to lead their respective units from general to colonel, delegating tasks and responsibilities. No general can single-handedly win a war. Ramirez understood that leading a successful organization required effective delegation. He couldn't micromanage every task or make every decision. He needed to empower his department heads, his colonels in this corporate army, to take ownership of their areas and lead their teams to victory. This meant clearly defining roles and responsibilities. Ramirez outlined the overall strategy for Aquitaine Incorporated, but he entrusted each department head with the responsibility of developing and executing specific action plans within their area of expertise. The marketing team, for instance, would create a comprehensive strategy to reach their target audience, while the engineering team would focus on developing innovative new products to meet market demands. Empowering your lieutenants, creating ownership and accountability. Delegation wasn't about simply assigning tasks. Ramirez understood the importance of empowering his lieutenants. He provided them with the resources they needed to succeed: budget, personnel, and access to necessary information. He also encouraged them to take calculated risks, experiment with new ideas, and learn from their mistakes. This shift from micromanagement to empowerment fostered a sense of ownership amongst the department heads. They weren't just following orders, they were actively shaping the company's future. This ownership translated into increased accountability. Department heads were no longer simply completing tasks, they were responsible for the outcomes of their actions. Clear communication, delivering orders and ensuring alignment. Ramirez knew that delegation and empowerment wouldn't work without clear communication. He established regular communication channels, weekly staff meetings, one-on-one meetings with each department head, and a company-wide communication platform. He ensured that everyone, from the top down, understood the overall strategy and their specific role in achieving it. These communication channels weren't just for disseminating information, they were also forums for feedback and discussion. Ramirez encouraged his lieutenants to voice their concerns, suggestions, and ideas. He created a safe space for open dialogue, fostering collaboration and ensuring that everyone was aligned with the company's goals. The delegation and empowerment process wasn't always smooth. There were initial anxieties about taking on new responsibilities and occasional missteps along the way. But Ramirez remained a supportive leader, offering guidance and mentorship while allowing his lieutenants to learn from their experiences. By creating a clear chain of command, delegating effectively, and empowering his department heads, Ramirez transformed Aquitaine Incorporated's leadership structure. He created a team of engaged leaders, each responsible for their own domain but working together towards a common goal. This empowered leadership structure would prove crucial in the battles to come, allowing Ramirez to focus on strategic planning and adapting to the ever-changing business landscape. The foundation was laid, the army was ready, and it was time to chart the course to victory. Chapter 4, Strategic Planning, Charting the Course to Victory. Lieutenant General Ramirez surveyed the war room, a repurposed conference room at Aquitaine Incorporated. Gone were the sterile whiteboards and generic motivational posters. The walls were now adorned with detailed market analyses, competitor profiles, and strategic roadmaps. His battalion commanders, the department heads, huddled around the central table, their faces etched with a mixture of focus and anticipation. The time for action had arrived. The war room, developing your business strategy. Just as a general wouldn't lead his troops into battle without a plan, Ramirez wouldn't lead Aquitaine Incorporated on a haphazard path to recovery. He needed a comprehensive business strategy, a roadmap that outlined the company's objectives, identified target markets, and defined the specific actions necessary to achieve success. The war room sessions were a collaborative effort. Ramirez, drawing on his military expertise and strategic thinking, facilitated discussions. The department heads, leveraging their deep understanding of their respective areas, provided valuable insights and market knowledge. Together, they analyzed the battlefield, the competitive landscape, customer needs, and technological trends, mission-critical objectives, breaking down your strategy into actionable steps. The overall strategy wasn't enough. Ramirez needed to translate the grand vision into actionable steps. He and his team identified key performance indicators, KPIs, to measure progress and ensure they were on the right track. They set specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, SMART, goals for each department, aligning them with the company's overarching objectives. For the marketing team, this might translate to increasing brand awareness by a specific percentage within a set time frame. For the sales team, it could mean achieving a targeted sales quota for a particular product line. Each department understood their role in the grand scheme and had a clear understanding of the metrics that would define their success. Adaptability and contingency plans, responding to changing market conditions. Ramirez knew the business landscape was a dynamic battlefield. Unexpected challenges could arise, new competitors, technological disruptions, or unforeseen economic shifts. He needed a plan B, or perhaps even a plan C, to navigate these unforeseen circumstances. The team developed contingency plans, outlining alternative strategies and courses of action for various scenarios. They conducted regular risk assessments to identify potential threats and vulnerabilities. This proactive approach ensured Aquitaine Incorporated wouldn't be caught flat-footed by unforeseen events. The war room sessions weren't just about planning, they were about fostering a culture of strategic thinking. Ramirez encouraged his team to think critically, analyze information, and anticipate potential challenges. He empowered them to adapt the plan as needed, ensuring Aquitaine Incorporated remained agile and responsive in the face of a constantly evolving market. With a clear strategy in place, Aquitaine Incorporated was no longer a rudderless ship. They had a defined course of action, a set of measurable goals, and the flexibility to adapt to changing circumstances. The groundwork for the coming battles had been laid. Now, it was time to put the plan into action and lead Aquitaine Incorporated back to victory. Chapter 5, Intelligence and Information Warfare, Staying Ahead of the Curve. Lieutenant General Ramirez wasn't naive. He knew the battles ahead wouldn't be fought solely on the sterile battleground of conference rooms and strategic planning sessions. In the ever-shifting landscape of the business world, information was a weapon, and Ramirez needed to be a master of information warfare, gathering intel, market research and competitive analysis. No military commander goes into battle blind. Just as Ramirez relied on intelligence reports to understand enemy movements and capabilities, he needed a deep understanding of Aquitaine Incorporated's competitors. He invested in comprehensive market research, gathering data on competitor products, marketing strategies, and pricing models. But Ramirez wasn't just interested in traditional market research reports. He leveraged social media listening tools to analyze customer sentiment and identify emerging trends. He conducted competitive intelligence gathering, ethically obtaining publicly available information about competitors' internal operations and future plans. This comprehensive approach provided a 360-degree view of the competitive landscape, allowing Aquitaine Incorporated to anticipate their rivals' moves and develop counter-strategies, turning data into decisions, using information to drive strategy. Information was useless without proper analysis and application. Ramirez established a data-driven decision-making culture at Aquitaine Incorporated. The marketing team used customer data to personalize marketing messages and target specific demographics. The sales team leveraged sales analytics to identify high-potential leads and close deals more effectively. Every department incorporated data into their decision-making processes, ensuring their actions were informed by insights rather than intuition. Ramirez also fostered a culture of information sharing. He implemented a knowledge management system, allowing employees to share insights and best practices across departments. This cross-pollination of information broke down silos and ensured everyone had access to the latest market intelligence, fostering a more cohesive and effective approach to achieving their goals. Counterintelligence, protecting your organization from threats. Ramirez understood that information warfare wasn't a one-way street. Just as he was gathering intel on competitors, they might be trying to do the same to Aquitaine Incorporated. He implemented robust cybersecurity measures to protect sensitive company data from cyberattacks and industrial espionage. He educated employees on best practices for data security, ensuring they were aware of social engineering tactics and phishing attempts. But Ramirez also understood the power of disinformation. Competitors might try to spread false information about Aquitaine Incorporated's products or financial health. He established a rapid response system to address negative rumors and ensure stakeholders had access to accurate information. By being proactive in protecting their information and countering misinformation, Ramirez ensured Aquitaine Incorporated wouldn't be blindsided by information warfare tactics. In the competitive world of business, information was a critical resource. By gathering comprehensive intelligence, turning data into actionable insights, and protecting themselves from counterintelligence efforts, Ramirez ensured Aquitaine Incorporated had the information advantage. This edge would be crucial in the battles to come, allowing them to outsmart their competitors and stay ahead of the curve. Chapter 6, Leadership Under Fire, Crisis Management and Decision-Making. The once bustling hallways of Aquitaine Incorporated were eerily quiet. A dark cloud hung over the company as news of a critical product defect sent their stock price plummeting. Panic threatened to set in, but Lieutenant General Ramirez stood firm. He had faced crises on the battlefield, and he knew this was just another battle in the war for Aquitaine Incorporated's success. Maintaining morale, motivating your team during difficult times. Crises had the potential to shatter morale and cripple an organization. Ramirez knew his role as a leader was not just to make strategic decisions but to maintain a sense of calm and purpose within his team. He addressed the entire company in a town hall meeting, acknowledging the severity of the situation but also expressing confidence in their ability to overcome it. He emphasized transparency, sharing all relevant information with his employees and keeping them updated on the progress of the situation. Ramirez also focused on positive reinforcement. He recognized and rewarded employees who went above and beyond to address the crisis, highlighting their contributions and fostering a sense of shared responsibility for the company's recovery. He encouraged open communication, creating a safe space for employees to voice their concerns and suggestions. By maintaining a positive and collaborative environment, Ramirez ensured that fear and negativity didn't paralyze Aquitaine Incorporated during this critical time. Command decisions, making tough choices under pressure. A crisis demanded decisive action, but Ramirez understood the importance of making well-informed decisions, even under pressure. He assembled his leadership team, a diverse group with expertise in engineering, marketing, and public relations. He encouraged open discussion, considering all available options and potential consequences. Ramirez didn't shy away from difficult choices. He authorized a product recall, prioritizing customer safety over short-term profits. He implemented a communication strategy to address public concerns and rebuild trust with their customer base. He also initiated a thorough investigation to identify the root cause of the product defect, ensuring it wouldn't happen again. These decisive actions, while difficult, were necessary to stabilize the situation and begin the path to recovery. Learning from losses, analyzing mistakes and adapting. Crises, though painful, offered valuable learning opportunities. Ramirez conducted a comprehensive post-crisis analysis. He identified the factors that led to the product defect and implemented stricter quality control measures. He reviewed their communication protocols and identified areas for improvement. He used these insights to strengthen Aquitaine Incorporated's internal processes and ensure they were better prepared to handle future challenges. Ramirez also fostered a culture of learning from mistakes. He encouraged open discussions about the crisis, allowing his team to identify areas for improvement and share their learnings. By embracing a growth mindset, Aquitaine Incorporated transformed the crisis from a setback into a catalyst for positive change and improved operational efficiency. Leading during a crisis was a true test of leadership. Ramirez, through his unwavering focus on maintaining morale, making decisive choices under pressure, and fostering a culture of learning from mistakes, ensured Aquitaine Incorporated not only weathered the storm but emerged stronger and more resilient. The battles may not have been won, but the war was far from over. Ramirez and his team were now better equipped to face the challenges ahead. Chapter 7, Victory and Beyond, Celebrating Success and Continuous Improvement. Lieutenant General Ramirez surveyed the jubilant scene before him. Aquitaine Incorporated stock price had soared, exceeding pre-crisis levels. The once troubled company had not only recovered from the product defect fiasco but had launched a revolutionary new product that had taken the market by storm. A collective sigh of relief and a sense of accomplishment hung in the air. The war, it seemed, was finally won, rewarding your troops, recognizing and appreciating your team's contributions. Ramirez knew victory wasn't a solo act. It was the culmination of months of tireless effort, strategic planning, and unwavering commitment by his team. He organized a company-wide celebration, recognizing and rewarding the contributions of every employee. Top performers were publicly acknowledged, their achievements highlighted. Department heads received bonuses and promotions. But Ramirez went beyond financial rewards. He expressed his sincere gratitude, acknowledging the sacrifices made and the dedication shown during challenging times. This recognition wasn't just about boosting morale, it was about building a culture of appreciation. By acknowledging contributions and celebrating successes, Ramirez fostered a sense of ownership and pride within his team. Employees felt valued and motivated to continue exceeding expectations. Never stop training, continuous learning and development. Ramirez wasn't naive. He knew the business landscape was a constant battlefield, and victory in one battle didn't guarantee peace in the long run. He remained committed to continuous learning and development for himself and his team. He implemented ongoing training programs that equipped employees with the latest skills and knowledge to stay ahead of the curve. He also encouraged a culture of experimentation and innovation. He allocated resources for research and development, allowing engineers to explore new technologies and develop groundbreaking products. He created an environment where failure wasn't seen as a punishment but as a learning opportunity, encouraging employees to take calculated risks and learn from their mistakes the next campaign, setting new goals and objectives. Even with a recent victory under their belt, Ramirez wouldn't allow Aquitaine Incorporated to become complacent. He facilitated strategic planning sessions, setting new goals and objectives for the company. These goals were ambitious yet achievable, pushing the team to reach their full potential. Ramirez also encouraged a focus on long-term sustainability. He implemented environmental initiatives to reduce the company's carbon footprint and fostered a culture of social responsibility. He understood that success wasn't just about financial metrics but also about creating a positive impact on the world, building a legacy, developing leaders within your team. Ramirez knew his leadership wouldn't last forever. He saw his role not just as leading Aquitaine Incorporated to victory but also as building a legacy of strong leadership. He identified high-potential employees and invested in their development. He provided them with mentorship opportunities, delegating challenging tasks and offering guidance. He encouraged them to take ownership of projects and develop their own leadership skills. By building a strong leadership pipeline, Ramirez ensured that Aquitaine Incorporated would continue to thrive long after his tenure. He created a culture of leadership, empowering his team to make decisions, solve problems, and inspire others. This legacy of leadership would ensure that Aquitaine Incorporated continued to conquer new frontiers and achieve lasting success. The war may have been won, but the battle for continuous improvement never ends. By celebrating success, fostering a culture of learning and development, setting ambitious goals, and developing future leaders, Ramirez ensured that Aquitaine Incorporated was not just victorious but poised for continued growth and dominance in the ever-evolving business landscape. This was just the beginning of a new chapter for Aquitaine Incorporated, a chapter built on the principles of military strategy and fueled by the unwavering spirit of a team led by a remarkable general. Chapter 8, The Legacy of a Leader. From battlefield to boardroom. Lieutenant General Ramirez stood at the podium, his reflection cast upon the faces of the attentive audience. This wasn't a battlefield briefing, but a packed conference room filled with aspiring entrepreneurs and seasoned business leaders. His journey with Aquitaine Incorporated had come to a successful conclusion, and now, he shared the hard-won lessons gleaned from the trenches of the corporate world. From battlefield to boardroom, the enduring principles of leadership. Ramirez wasn't a businessman by trade, but his experience as a military leader had provided him with a unique perspective. He emphasized the universality of leadership principles, the importance of clear vision, strategic planning, and a commitment to developing a strong team. He shared real-life stories from his time at Aquitaine Incorporated, illustrating how these principles translated from the battlefield to the boardroom, building a sustainable organization, developing leaders within your team. Ramirez wasn't just focused on individual victories, he championed the concept of building a sustainable organization. He highlighted the importance of fostering a culture of leadership within his team. He explained how he identified high-potential employees, empowered them with challenging tasks, and provided them with mentorship opportunities. By investing in his team's leadership development, Ramirez ensured Aquitaine Incorporated wouldn't be reliant on a single leader but would have a pipeline of talented individuals ready to take the reins. The final salute, leaving a legacy of success. Leadership wasn't just about barking orders and expecting results. Ramirez emphasized the importance of leaving a legacy of success. He spoke about the importance of building trust, fostering open communication, and creating a positive and collaborative work environment. He highlighted how these intangible qualities fueled employee motivation, fostered innovation, and ultimately contributed to Aquitaine Incorporated's long-term success. Ramirez's closing message resonated with the audience. He wasn't just a general sharing war stories, He was a leader offering practical advice on navigating the complexities of the business world. His insights transcended industry and experience level, offering a roadmap for anyone who aspired to lead and inspire others. The book ends, but the journey continues. The final chapter of the audiobook had come to a close, but the principles outlined within its pages offered a timeless guide for aspiring leaders. Lieutenant General Ramirez's journey with Aquitaine Incorporated may have concluded, but the lessons learned, the importance of strategy, building a strong team, and fostering a culture of continuous improvement, would continue to empower leaders across all industries, ensuring their organizations, like well-oiled machines, march towards victory. This wasn't just the end of a story, it was the beginning of countless journeys for those who dared to embrace the mantle of leadership and conquer their own corporate battlefields.